Hey ho, guys. Sorry, was a bit late. Um, uh, yeah, so we will start. Game for today will be. Um, yeah, so we will have as a first game Crippling Impression with BigJim, both in Group B, as you can see here. And oh, Gal O'Neill, thanks for the follow. And then we will cast on some games later, like Scott versus Mr. Um, Hi Gotler. At Gensei. I'm doing fine. That's good. Kazor will most likely stay in the league in Division 3 because no one of Division 4 came up to replace him. And he said he's fine. Like, he would favor playing in Division 4, but if there's no replacement for him, he will do his best in fighting in Division 3. I also told him if he needs any help or tips or wants to play some games to practice, I'm up for that. But yeah, we will jump now in this game between BigJim and Crippling Depression. And on the right side, we have the Soviet player, BigJim, playing as the 84th Guard Swalkovi. And on the left side, we have Crippling Depression in blue, bringing out the might of the Wehrmacht in form of the Panzer Division right out of Normandy onto the Soviet steppes. So let's start with the deployment. As nobody seems to play right now or in the next couple of hours, we will most likely stream everything from replays. And yeah. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Jan. You're Mr. Jan Alexander, right? Out of the league? Really good to have you guys here. Hope your count also goes up over time. Oof. Ooh, that's an interesting start out of Crippling Depression, guys. 3 Panther tanks, 1 Speerwagen, 2-3-4-1, and 2 Pumas in the south. Other than that, only some Panzer Grenadiers. That's still a Panzer Grenadier. Interesting transport there. Haven't seen these guys in a while. An SDKFZ 251/9 with a 75mm as transport. Pretty good unit, but yeah, you don't see them too often because they're actually really good transport there. So interesting choice. I think a good choice there to bring them in at this. Your first league was pretty good for you, right? You're looking with 2 wins already. Your chances of going into the playoffs seem to be pretty good, Mr. Alexander there. If you want me to cast one of your games later, let me know. Also up for that. If any one of them were good. If you think any of them are worth casting. Ice 2 on the other side already. And M42/1. Yeah, with the Ice 2 against the... Okay, he reduced it to 2 Panthers. Moved another Puma in the north. But yeah, against 2 Panthers, the Ice 2 should do fine. There's also a commander. So yeah, Crippling Depression really wanting to go for the open field. Here we go. Let's reduce the speed. Let's see where all this goes. So, what? Okay, Crippling Depression going for the all-in guys here. Going for the point on the other side of the map. While there's a standard flag on the hill for red, for BigJim. And then a more defensive setup. Going also aggressive for the flag up in the north. He's the balanced player, so he doesn't have to be super aggressive. BigJim is the guy who has to win in the first 25 minutes. Automachiki. Ognomachiki. So a lot of CQC infantry for the forest. There's not that much for Crippling Depression up here. 2 Panzer Grenadiers boarding a line and the Flammenwerfer. But at least the Flammenwerfer will catch up back in the north. But yeah, the interesting fight is down here. This is where the action goes. Pumas coming in. So yeah, this is a Division 3 game, so it's not the best of the line. It's like players with a bit of experience, but not like on a professional level. Who like play, or not professional, but competitive level. Like you only have like 1 tournament on their name or so. Or who played in Division 4 last season and ranked up. So don't be too harsh on these guys. They kind of know what they do, but they ain't knowing all the sneaky stuff. The macro and micro might lack a bit. Good kill here on the transports out of BigJim. So he only has AT weapons down here. Left, no infantry. But AT weapons is what he mostly needs against his 2 Panthers. Good usage of the leader. Just 2 stars on the other Panther here. Pumas pin down the Sis-3, but one of them gets crew killed. One of the spare wagons went down against the Saperi PPSH. And yeah, the north BigJim starts this big push. Killed the Puma there with an M42. Brings in a PE3 to attack the Puma. Ooh, and the IS-2 fired its first shot. And the M42 might be deadly for the Panthers. A bit too far in the forest. Panthers now opening up fire onto the IS-2. Rocket plane coming in. Turret stuck, that's unlucky. Crew panicked from the side shot out of the M42. Gun jammed. So yeah, really hitting the mark there with the M42. Getting the kill on the Panther. Big, important positioning out of BigJim there. Because a single Panther against the IS-2 will be a hard fight. Crippling Depression capturing the flag there. But north is quite a lot of advantage out of BigJim because he has so many so many more units here. Same goes for here. There's 4 Saperi PPSH squads. Some Guardia DP squads as well. Somehow the crippling suppression's Puma got over here. Not sure if BigJim sees that. No, he doesn't. No, don't move it up. Okay, well that's still a good position I guess. But yeah. This might actually be spotted by BigJim's AT gun? No, okay. Only looking forward. Really interesting here. This sneaky unit getting through. Now there's also Jephard, but yeah, both sides having really little infantry here. And the Flammenwerfer is not moving up is a big mistake there. Or not big mistake, but a missed opportunity there for Crippling Depression. Not getting the M42 there. And yeah, the Puma moving up took away the chance. But Crippling Depression really going for disrupting the enemy's reinforcement lines. Ooh, but that might actually end bad for the Puma. That's unlucky. If BigJim would have called in the T-34s in the north and the Automachikis in the south, that would have gone much better for the Puma. This way, he's in a lot of trouble. Gets killed there. More Panthers coming in. In the moment where I think you rather want to have more infantry. Panthers don't change the game here. In Crippling Depression's position, you rather want to have something that captures your points. Not something that only has a big boom. KV-8S opening up fire on the Panzer Grenadier. Another Panzer Grenadier moving up over here. Panther 8 coming up. But yeah, he doesn't see enough, I think. The SDKFZ with the 75mm short barrel gun really starts to pay off, keeping the superiors at bay. Yeah, here's the next sneaky supply line interruption unit going down, most likely. The T-34, yeah, there it goes. So that's unlucky, I think, because I don't think BigJim noticed that. Just brought in the T-34s from the middle anyways. So in that way, he got lucky there encountering that instead of losing a lot of infantry squads there. Or at least getting them unloaded much too early. So yeah, good idea out of Crippling Depression, sadly didn't pay off at all. And now he's far behind. Far behind already. And he is the guy who has to be aggressive. That's BigJim with a 1410 on him now. Yak-Worn Beast coming in. Wolf gets the kill on the AT gun. Flamethrowers still haven't found the M42. 3 Starter Jeopards actually might be deadly here. No, it's P3s, so P3s should survive usually. Because they're pretty healthy planes there. It would be like a P38 or something that those might have went down. Ooh. And 42 gets forced forward by the Flammenwerfer, which actually brings it into position to attack the Panther, and it actually gets a crit on the Panther. And the IS-2 gets a kill on the next Panther. So yeah, things going from bad to worse here for Crippling Depression. Brings in a lot of forces now in the north to keep the infantry units at bay there. Not a lot for now. Yeah, 2 Panzer Grenadier squads. SDKFZ. Another SDKFZ. No, Speerwagen. But yeah, he still cannot deal with the IS-2, which is a big issue for him. It's this 3 coming up again to deal with Panthers. IGs on the other hand, trying to go up the hill. But yeah, if you were 59 against you when you were playing Vanguard against Balance, you know stuff ain't going well for you. Now also gets close with this SDKZ 51/9, but at least he gets the surrender on the town. So this was a worthy payoff. Not the SDKZ. Goes a bit too aggressive over here with this infantry. The IGs are a good choice. You get a lot of IGs as Panzer. No, not a lot, but you get them. It's actually 1/16 that gets a lot of IGs. You really want to use them in your tank divisions to support your Panzer Grenadiers. Like yeah, long range engagements. They are actually, I think, more important in the early game than Panther tanks, because they can help out with both enemy armor and enemy infantry really cost effectively, and they deal a lot of damage to infantry. When now an IL-2 37 comes in, going for the command vehicle, that might actually go down. Or not. Oh no, he only drops the bombs. Ooh, I don't know if BigJim knows that he don't. Not sure that he knows that this one is the AT one. That's the one with the 37mm AT gun. Because I think otherwise you would have just turned off the bombs and then you use that for just killing it with the AT gun weaponry. But this way the commander survives. Panther goes down though, and IS-2 is still alive. SIS-3 nearly down, but yeah. Ooh, that's an Crippling Depression finally finds a spot where he can get through. As the KV-8 is occupied in the north, and the M42 over here went down, and he finds an armored push, finally going for the spawn. So Crippling Depression really doesn't take any prisoners. He goes all in or nothing. Or another spray wagon of him getting transmission destroyed, as BigJim tries to react as fast as possible with some T-34Es, but the Panther should be able to deal with that if he stops driving. And he gets forced to stop driving, so that gives him better accuracy. And ooh, bounce on a T-34. That's lucky there. Spalling, another lucky survival of the T-34. But that should be over now. Yeah. There we go. But the surround collapses again for Crippling Jim. The unit's now behind the enemy lines. And his northern section still gets destroyed. Cut off the reinforcement, but yeah. He's in a lot of trouble in the south now, still, as the IS-2 is still alive here. He has no tanks at all. Needs to use his mortars well. I think that's a bad position. You never want to have your mortars in the open for the enemy. You always want to have them like here, or behind this tree line, at least, or up here on the hill behind the tree line, so that you can fall back. This one, or this one, I think, is the positions you want it in. Or like in town, not in the open. Now he realizes it's moving behind the tree line, but this tree line can be flanked pretty easily. And you cannot get away from there easily. Because if there's an AT gun here, and you fall back, you run into that AT gun. So yeah, rather have it a bit further behind, I think, or up the hill. We are like this route. And yeah, BigJim gets a lot of territory, but also loses 4 flags over here. Yeah, I think 4 flags, which still keeps it at 12-12. And he needs more. And IS-2 comes up. Already as shooter knocked out though. Jim and Stewie, thanks for the follow. Gets a good aim time. That kills the Panther. Push out of... Ooh, loader knocked out again. IL-2 coming in with the bombs again? Yeah, coming in with the bombs again. BigJim not realizing. And he has... Ooh, the next issue, next to the bombs, is he still has Winchester on. BigJim, if you watch that, turn off your Winchester, please. Turn off your Winchester. Yeah, his AT battery down here got battered, annihilated there. And the south looks now, after he starts to recover the north, goes up to a 14-11 there for a while, and really pushes into the middle. He loses the south now, because he doesn't have enough forces to deal with the T-34s, IS-2s. Having a couple of unlucky trades and some a bit wild throwaways, I think, out of Crippling Depressions, or like just wrong unit combos, is what kept him from going up to a 15-9 by now. Because stuff like this really works well, but he did a couple too many throwaway actions. Both of these guys really being decisive, but sometimes with the wrong stuff. Ooh, a cease order. Haven't seen that used yet. Interesting. Because, yeah, I'm still thinking about if it has any use in multiplayer. Now it's up to 59 for Crippling Depression as he cleared out the pocket. So he really created the pocket and then slowly but surely closed it. So, really good play there. But I still am worried that his south just might collapse from one second to another, because there's just so much red. There's so many Soviets and so few German forces. Although there are 4 more Panzer Grenadiers, but his entire armor is just too little here. He has no anti-tank guns, no tanks at all, and there's 1 IS-2 and 3 T-34s plus artillery. So yeah, they can deal with that infantry, or they just can roll over it. There's actually not even AT weaponry on those Panzer Grenadiers down here, so there's nothing to stop an IS-2 from just rolling forward actually. Panther now coming back into the middle. So that he should be able to at least hold this territory for now. So yeah, 59 is good. Comes a bit late though, but that's still minute 28 that you can still do as Crippling Depression. The BigJim prod in a bit, like, yeah, he was not ready for these aggressive pushes out of Crippling Depression. Yeah, the L2 usage is a bit worrisome. Wolf coming in to kill the IL-2, but yeah, this IL-2 could have killed already so many things with 30mm cannon, 37mm cannons. So yeah, if any one of you didn't notice that in the 84th deck now, just now the Bomber IL-2 37 has 37mm anti-tank guns. Use that. Turn off the bombs, just use it at T-plane, and then if you see some infantry left over, bomb that. But use it as an anti-tank plane first. Yeah, he brings in infantry in big spots and then just mostly leaves them be. Seems to be armored play, and really interesting armored play, and really good one, but yeah. Guess his infantry play is a bit lackluster. And he runs the stuff a bit too much head in first. Like, this Panzer gun jammed by a Automachiki, not something you have to let happen. If he goes a bit more reserveful into games, I think he will be fine. Because, yeah, decisiveness is a good attribute, but so is good preservance. Good. You don't want to be decisive. You still want to preserve units even if you're decisive. You still don't want to move them in position where you know they like die 80%. And moving them, if you know that the infantry is there just next to them, is one of these moments. He actually loses the Panther? How did the Panther get... Where did the Panther got killed? Oh yeah, he moved it up again and got killed by the Automachiki. Moments like this is what I think holding Crippling Depression from absolutely annihilating BigJim here. Because BigJim just was not ready early on. Now he has IS-2s on the field though, up in the north and the south. And he still has a chance to just roll over the south. So yeah, even though he's on a 10-minute timer, he could actually just change at any moment by just pushing in the south. So I still see BigJim in favor. Even with 59 against him at the moment. Because he just played a bit more resourceful. Although the infantry fight is actually going pretty well for BigJim, thanks to the 251/9 and just Panzer Grenadiers being the best infantry in medium to long range engagements at the moment. By far. Whirlwind coming up. IL-2 37 coming in. But yeah, again, just bombing. Not attacking. So another missed opportunity there. Gets the bombers off. Well, at least kills Panzer Grenadiers. But yeah, now BigJim also pushes him slowly back in the north as he kills with the Panther. Panther's not being... Because if you only throw one Panther at a time on the IS-2, you never win that fight. If you throw like 2 or 3 of them onto an IS-2, you might be able to win. And you get the numbers, but Crippling Depression slowly tickled them in and also got unlucky by not killing the M42 out of all the units he killed coming up to this hill. So the M42 critting and killing his Panthers was another big moment against Crippling Depression's aggression that he wanted to start in the early game. Now he tries to push in the middle. He's still up 14-10, but 14-10 means that the game will go on till minute 40. So he has to get more aggressive here. He has to capture another flag. Kills the IS-2 here. Panther? No, actually with the Panzer Grenadier. Ooh, that's a great play out of Crippling Depression and sloppy play out of BigJim there. You don't want to lose IS-2s to Panzerfaust. Getting into 120-meter range of infantry? That's not something that should happen. Like with T-34s, sure, that happens from time to time, but with an IS-2? Getting killed by infantry is quite a shame. Like Panzer Shrek, sure, like maybe 50-meter kill somewhere can happen from time to time. Shouldn't, but can. But getting killed by 120-meter Panzer Faust? That's not good. That's just a big misplay there. And he still doesn't realize he can just roll over the south. But now it's back to 59, thanks to the kill on the IS-2. Because there's nothing stopping this Panzer from pushing forward. Speer wagon coming up as well. Got the impression of not using quick hunt enough, I think. Too many fast moves. Actually gets the kill there while moving with his 2-3-4-1. Yeah, again, moving tanks just into towns ain't the way. Get a bit more resourceful with your armored units. Don't move them into everything. Stravniki and Guardia DPs coming up. And these guys with their PTRDs are really good against the side armor of Panzer Force or Speer wagons. Yeah, Panther now pushing alone again, gets killed as well. Like really, I like the aggression out of aggression. Just too many throwaway moments here for him to be considered winning this game, I think. Because yeah, now we are in C phase, and now his income just gets so much worse compared to BigJim. IL-2 coming up, not getting the kill though. Bombers nearly pinging down the Panzer forward, but yeah, that's the IL-2 that could have killed them instead. So I don't know. Another IS-2 coming up. Yeah, BigJim just has to realize he just can roll over here. These 3 flags, or these 4 flags actually, or this 2 and these 2, can be so easily taken with what he has here. Just move the IS-2 forward around here, 34s just over the open, and then followed up with infantry, and you're good to go. And now he starts it. IS-2 moving forward, and there's really nothing to stop it. IS-2 from over here wasting its AP ammo on the 234/1. Nope, Scout, I didn't show your humiliation yet. Stravniki engaging. Yeah, BigJim having a good setup. IS-2s now finally moving forward into the open, starting the engagement here. Yeah, the infantry out of BigJim is just too numerous now for Crippling Depression to deal with. Still has even the guys back behind the lines of the enemy here. So if BigJim can deal with the Panthers, he just can overrun the north as well. So I think this game should go into BigJim's favor soon. Already gets to 11-13. Brings in a lot more infantry. Might lose a couple of them in transport, as the Panzer Grenadier and the SDKFZ over here are positioned really well. Yeah, he has to move out the IS-2s as well, but yeah. This is looking grim for Crippling Depression, who still tries to throw in enough stuff to keep it on the 59, but doesn't look like this is possible. More Pumas, more Panzer Force, just more armored forces, when infantry is actually what he needs. Like really too much armored units. Too many armored units out of Crippling Depression. I know it's a tank division, but tank division is still combined arms. Cherno's getting pushed to fall back. Actually, his brute force push with SDKFZs and Panzer Grenadiers and Panzer Force starts to work here. IL-2 coming in though, killing one Panzer IV. The other L2 not turning on AT gun weapons again, but at least gets its bombs out, though misses with them. Yeah, now it's the IS-2's time to shine, holding the push all on its own. Though now he's only down to 5 minute 50, so there is still a chance for Crippling Depression now. Holding it like for 6 minutes now, or like for 3 minutes on this, and then for another 6 minutes, might still be able to win this game. But it will be hard, because BigJim every minute gets in so much more stuff now. IS-2 up, still doesn't capture this flag, which, yeah, or these two, which is a bit of an oversight. But yeah, you never know. Like, I guess he's a bit too fearful, but yeah, if you see so much stuff in the north, and you know you're on a bit of a timer, whew, I just got out of hand real quick now with a 19.5. There's a lot of the units up here in the north got cut down by the storm pioneers, because in Depression really finding these sweet spots to just cut off the enemy and then just take the map. That's really impressive, actually. If you combine that with good play, with like a bit more conservative play, he will do mighty fine in the future. But I don't think he will do mighty fine in this game, even though it's just for minute 30. Yeah, I think the size order did okay. I think it usually does. Like, sometimes it should be better than take move nowadays. But I just never practiced with it, so I never got into it. But yeah, 17-7. So yeah, if Crippling Depression gets to an 18-6 again, I think he's in a good spot. But this way it's still 4 minutes, though he still needs to lose 5 flags, so I don't know if BigJim is actually able to do it. Even though I still favor him. He lost a lot in the middle, but yeah. Now he realizes he has to push somewhere, so finally T-34 is moving forward himself. He has the air control. Infantry engagement is not going super well, but now he also gets off-map in. So that actually might help out so much here against all the Pentacommanders. Should get this flag back in a second. Yeah, if he ever connects his units up in the north again, these will do well again in capturing flag as well. And yeah, now he finally realizes the south should be his. The north may do what the north wants to do, but the south is in the hands of the Soviets. And that's a 59. One more flag. Crippling Depression to allow BigJim to allow you a bit more time would be nice. L2 not getting the kill here. And he gets the flag, so that's at least 5 minutes again. And yeah, with 5 minutes he has quite a bit more time to do stuff. Like, has 3 more minutes to bring enough stuff on the map to turn the tide. And it's only 2 more flags now. So this one is really, like, yeah, if Crippling Depression ever brings anything in, this will fall back. And oh, he goes back up to 59. IS-2's coming in. Nice usage of smoke there onto them to keep them from being too effective. Guardia DP's coming in. But yeah, there goes the flag again. That's 4 minutes 30. Guardia DP, another IS-2. So Perry's coming in, so now it's a 13-11. Only one more flag for BigJim to keep it on the tie, and he has so much more stuff and so much more income. So he really just has to hold it on there and then just slowly but surely kicking out Crippling Depression out of this game. Who has to keep on his advantage for 4 more minutes. Which might be possible, but will be hard. Like, yeah. Maybe he can get back to this flag with his Storm Pioneers, so they get engaged. Ah, that's unlucky. They're too close to the edge of the forest and they don't have anything engaging over 100 meters. So They get slowly but surely melted. Always having some units behind the enemy lines. Crippling depression, that is. A lot of Panzer Grenadiers now stopping enemy infantry from moving in. And it's now down to only 3 minutes. Pack 40 coming in to deal with T-34. Doesn't get the kill just yet. And BigJim is on a timer. Guardias coming, continuing stealing with his drone pioneers. Crippling depression, losing one unit after another now in the north, sadly. Has a naval warfare. Going for the IS-2 though. Don't know. And off map coming in for BigJim now, over here. Who still has to take 2 flags in the next 2 minutes. Another 8 artillery strike, yeah, that should hit home. That should give BigJim 1 more flag, but it's only 2 minutes. Naval warfare coming in. I think that should have been used somewhere else. I think the IS-2 is not the main objective at the moment. The main objective is getting even like another flag. 1 more flag would, I think, secure Crippling Depression's victory. Now he's down to 13-11. That's 1 minute 30. But with the off-map dining in, the IS-2s might be actually able to capture this flag with the channels. 1 minute 30. So, yeah, BigJim and Crippling Depression make it much closer than I expected it to be. I thought that Crippling Depression would collapse much earlier, but his pushes always got a lot of attention out of BigJim and also got a lot of units at some points. Though he lost a lot as well. More by now, I think. Yeah, now it's back to a 12-12. And if Crippling Depression ain't able to change that in the next couple of minutes, he will not be able to change that at all anymore. Back to a 13-11, 1 minute 6-17. So yeah, really close match here. Really close match here. Though he loses to Panther in the north. PE3 bombs onto the Storm Pioneers. So he might lose this flag now. 1 minute 14, 1 minute 13, 1 minute 10. This game is close, guys. This game is real close. IS-2 is down here, engaging the Panzer Grenadiers. IS-2 is continuing moving forward. It's now 14-10 for Crippling Depression. I think he didn't make it. Built into 1 minute of winning. I don't think he will make it there. Because BigJim just collapsed the whole north. And there's now just 2 little points and 2 little units for Crippling Depression to change that again. 59 now for BigJim. Yeah, the IS-2s are an issue. The income is an issue. The Air Force is an issue as he still has little AA. The infantry fight goes for BigJim as well, so yeah, I think that game we can speed up because I think the ending is clear. With a 16-8 now for BigJim. Really a shame for Crippling Depression that he just got a few mistakes costing him the game here. Pack 40, or like not actually, like a couple of issues in his gameplay. Because yeah, he could have done a lot better if you just would have changed a couple of things up. But yeah, still a lot of potential for the next upcoming weeks. Really looking forward how these guys improve over the season. Because there's usually a good learning curve in for these guys. 14-10, so yeah, Crippling Depression really tries to get it back. But even if they capture this back, it's still 14-10 because the north is just going too bad for him. Sub-Harry rocks. A lot of forces coming in. Still IS-2s. Yeah, the airplay was not that good as well. But I think if he would have fought in, like, if he wouldn't have lost as many Jeff Hearts and stuff, yeah, maybe with too little AA. But he couldn't really afford AA because he had to keep on paying into his pushes. But if he wouldn't have lost some units of his pushes, he could have invested into AA. So I don't think the AA is really the issue. It's more that his other stuff was a bit thrown away a bit too easily. Yeah, even getting back to a 13-11 here now, but he has to get 2 more flags and keep them. I don't see that happening for Crippling Depression anytime soon. This is, all his infantry units in the north get massacred. Half track here gets killed. 1 Panther standing alone in the north, but they have bombers coming in. There's just too many infantry units. $59 now for BigJim. Yeah, this game is pretty much over. But good play out of both sides. Like, a lot of to learn for both sides, I think. Like BigJim, the IL-2, a bit of anti-tank play, I think. Like, yeah, positioning his anti-tank guns a bit better so they can get side shots more easily, maybe. And then, yeah, his infantry fights weren't as great either. Both sides not being super good with infantry thing. But yeah, now the airplay out of BigJim is really good. Just securing him the victory here. It's on 16-8 now, and now I don't see a point how it can't come back. Crippling Depression getting an air kill there, loses his fighter though. 17-7. 3 more minutes for Crippling Depression. His power is still so much bigger. If it might actually nearly be a tie if it would be a 50-minute time limit. Because, yeah, then both, like, I think BigJim has like 1 minute on the clock and Crippling Depression like 30 seconds. So it would be real close if we would go for that. But sadly, there's no time limit here. So yeah, it's just a major victory in the end, I think, for BigJim. Good airplay out of Crippling Depression with his fighters. But yeah, he loses just too much on the ground now, and there we go. BigJim taking game number 1. And I will be back in a second with game number 2. I want to show you stats again. So yeah, BigJim in the end being much more cost efficient. With 5,800 against 3,500 kills. The Crippling Depression was pretty good in keeping forces, even territory with forces that shouldn't actually be able to keep that. But yeah, be back with game number 2 in a second. So we are back for game number 2 between Mr. BigJim in blue on the left side, on one of the most iconic maps of Steel Division 2, or not the most iconic map of Steel Division 2, Ocean North, with us since the open beta. The first map I played on in the closed beta as well. And Crippling Depression on the right side in red with the 44th Guards Chalkovi. So both guys switched faction. BigJim now playing the Axis side. And yeah, this map is one of the most balanced maps, I think, of them all. Because it has some open grounds in the middle, has some town fights, has a good line of forest, and a bit of hilly territory as well. It's a bit more infantry focused maybe with all the tree lines, allowing for good anti-tank positioning. But you can still use a Tiger tank here pretty well to help out on support. Like, it's not as not like Tiger tanks are as to give you a point for free here, but they can really assist in engaging towns or into these forests. Even around here, though that's more medium tank territory. Like, a lot of T-34s and Shermans are used in this area usually. So yeah, well, let's continue with the deployment. So pair of previous Ages coming in again, so both guys still playing with them. Is that all 8 of them? No, that's that's 7. Oh no, it's all some Ognos. Okay, but it's still 4 separate previous Ages, 3 Ognos, for them 42. So really aggressive start out of Crippling Depression there. Both sides the sampling balanced. So both having a long breath, being able to go into sea face and still keep on fighting effectively there. And no one having the income advantage at any point. Snipe parries for the middle. Just, I think, is a good choice. Like, having them in these 2 lines or over here can be really effective. Really enjoying snipers. Q34, 85 coming up here. Together with a camaraderie. Or not. Okay. The other side also playing with T-34s, normal 1 and 85s. No KV2 so far. Really funny that Skijaeger says, like, most of the tank tab is really Soviet stuff. Because they just got the rest. Well, they were more of an experimental division, I guess. And then they just got what they could use. Others not so much. Got ADPs, camaraderies. So very previous Ages again in the south. So yeah, some jeeps everywhere. Ooh, the SU-152 without AP shells. Not a big fan of this guy. It's a bit too expensive, I think. Not doing a great job because the rate of fire is pretty low. And the accuracy as well. So yeah, 3 rounds a minute is just too low. Needs some changes to it. So, aggressive setup in the south actually for the low number of units he has, and yeah, really aggressive setup in the north. Out of Crippling Depression, trying to go for the town over here. And yeah, now let's turn down the speed a bit. No, wait. Okay, yeah, Skijaegers and Skijaeger Fusiliers. 36s as well. Though there's actually no tanks on the other side, but there's half-tracks, so against those Pack 36s are actually the best choice, as they have high rate of fire and low penetration. We have T-34s coming up. 2 sniper heavy squads for the town. Might actually get the kill on transport. Nope. BigJim unloads early enough, but we'll lose a couple of key fusiliers here. Only using one in the end. It's good. So pair of previous H's. Not getting any pensive house shot out there. And should lose the close quarter combat there against Stormski Jägers. And some ski fusiliers. This G43s and MG42s. Pretty deadly. On medium range. So yeah, it's only one guy ADP in himself. But Crippling Depression got into the town. But there's still a lot of forces around here. Capturing one flag, another flag over here. Don't know where the third flag is actually. Oh, over here. So yeah, capturing 3 flags, going up to 59. SU and OB working out and killing the AT gun. And now it's really up to the guys in the town and all the reinforcement coming in to keep BigJim's northern front alive. Henko Staniki's moving forward to the forest over here. No more support fire onto the infantry from the hull. Would like to see that changed by moving the OB around and stuff. Oof, that hurts. SU first shot does a lot of morale damage and also a lot of damage overall, but yeah, the reload time, 20-second reload time is just so crazy. When it hits, it makes big boom, but yeah, it has to hit for that in the first set. At first. So it's back to 14-10. Can't 80mm mortar opening fire onto this village over here. Oh no, actually not. He actually fires over here. That's an interesting choice. Good hit. I think he fires on the... let's see. Oh, he doesn't. He stopped firing. Doesn't target anymore. Unlucky not killing more units on the OB. M2 A1 also gets pushed back, so it's back to 13-11 for Crippling Depression. But yeah, this time he doesn't have to be super aggressive. Still plays pretty aggressive, but he doesn't have to win the game early on. Can't track it on if he gets good kill death ratios, and so far I think both sides pretty much played blow for blow, which is good to see. Really enjoying that. So 217 J1 coming in as a ground attacker. Yeah, T-34 you should run against M42 and OB and an SU, and another T-45 actually upcoming. Shouldn't be there in the open. So it's back to 59 again at BigJim on the same timer as last time. This time actually earlier. So he has to react earlier as well, because if it stays as it is at the moment, the game will end before the 20-minute mark. Tankos killing Pack 36 over here. Only one ski Jäger stopping the Guardian to Tankos, as they already capture one flag behind the fencing radius. Town fight is really going messy over here. BigJim moving in more forces, but it's really bad for him, I think. Losing the town, because yeah, if he allows Crippling Depression easy ways to reinforce into this, he's in really bad shape. Because pushing back into the town when there's infantry that's holding you off is just so hard. In the south, still all quiet. And T-34 catches the Tankos. Not seeing how they move into transport though. The Guardians are in houses as well. That's an interesting point. Haven't seen that in a while. And he's getting just smashed by their respective opponent in the Ski Jaegers. P34 out of Crippling Depression, really close to frontline again, a bit too close for comfort for my taste. Yak 1B should get the kill on it though, but maybe the other Doe might be able to kill the Yak 1B afterwards. Yeah, Doe goes down. Second one is keep on hunting. Ooh, that was a... yeah, he didn't turn fast enough, so yeah, the Doe gets the kill there. Good move out of BigJim. So I think actually the fighter bomber is more expensive than the Doe. Was that just the SU killing the T-3045 there? That's interesting. Yeah, Crippling Depression slowly but surely ticking down BigJim. Keep on fighting over here. No major push coming in for BigJim at any point, but yeah, he gets outnumbered by now. His Polish units are just cheaper, and the mortar will do fine as well. Not Polish, Soviet units. Crippling Depression keep on pushing against BigJim. Transmission destroyed up here. I think that's actually... no, it's not the heat rounds. If BigJim would have turned this one into heat rounds, this T-34 should actually be toast already. And BigJim keeps on holding these two flags. Brings it actually back to a 12-12 now. So this game might go on forever. We will see. 13-11 now for for BigJim. So he starts ticking down, Crippling Depression. Also in the north, there's another tank fight between T-34 and T-34-42. The south is a stalemate again as well. As this time BigJim could push, but he doesn't. Ooh, if BigJim would have realized that, he could have just moved out this T-34, maybe though it shoot on the T-34 as well, and then could have killed it pretty easily. Missed opportunity there. And yeah, never turn your barrel around when you want to actually go into the other direction. Actually a turret stack, that's a good one. Well used out of Dorniers, 217 there, out of BigJim. Really using them as much as possible for running down enemy units. And yeah, both sides trading so many blows, both sides looking so crushed. It's really hard to decide who won, because both sides playing on a good niveau, and more on an aggressive centric one than a defensive centric one, so they're first of all not really used to balanced, I think, or not too much. And yeah, they also maybe don't enjoy it as much as other incomes. T-34 still there, but now there's an IL-2. Big, bad IL-2 on the way to try to deal with it. And it might actually... oh no, it got by T-34. It doesn't get a kill there. But yeah, T-34-85s are dangerous beasts, but they are pretty bad if they don't have a squad around them. Everyone needs a squad, guys. Socializing is important. Otherwise, your T-30-45s just go down like flies. You don't socialize with your nice infantrymen from around the corner. Or the same ship or something. ME-109, still keeping turning. Tries to return now. Depression would have seen this, for sure would have played League. Even Lolly would have returned then. T-34 opening fire up here. And now BigJim trying to keep the town. But yeah, it's a 14-10 now for Crippling Pressure. Just one more spot and he gets a good tick rate. As of now, it's still minute 30. But he might be able to bring it back. And we only arrived in B phase. Let's speed it up to double speed actually. Ooh. T-34 in the south has to be careful. Engine damaged. Well used Guardias there. Guardia DPs by Crippling Depression. A bit sloppy there by BigJim though. You were really both sides moving tank units too close to possible hazardous territory where they could run into a rain of Panzerfaust and Panzerschrecks and anti-tank rifle fire. Usually want to get them a bit further away. SU-152 finally falls. Don't know what the cluster bomber actually is for. It ain't too good against infantry. Like, forgot if it does. Yeah, that it pins them down, but yeah, not too worrisome. Yeah, game continues on. 13-11. Damn guys, I'm tired. I don't know from what. Like, day was exhausting. Last couple of days were really exhausting with a lot of frisbee. But yeah, somehow my eyes just want to shut at the moment. So this might actually be the last game for the day. So I think I will just go to sleep afterwards. Like, I thought about maybe drinking another coffee, but it's just too late for a coffee. We'll cast some games around daytime tomorrow, and then at night again. After, and also tomorrow is the podcast upcoming. So yeah, Crippling Depression here, pushing forward. Ski Stormjägers coming up in the south. BigJim going for the infantry advantage on the south here. Kills a plane, but might lose its though. No, actually kills it's the M17 A gun with I think the pack. So yeah, that was a good kill. This was an amazing kill. Because now the Ju-87D3 can come in and just kill all this. It doesn't get. Okay, no, it gets slowed out. Killed both tanks. Great move there. AT gun over here does an okayish job. More M42s, more T-34s. They now try to push consistently in the north. Really close game. I wish I would be more awake so I could help you. I could be a better caster here. Crippling Depression is playing 84th. No, not 84th, 44th. So, yeah, he has T-34 85s. He has a good air tap, some OBs, and a lot of Gaia DPs. And T-34s coming up more as well. But yeah, mostly Gaia DPs in a lot of numbers. Well used AT guns up here. HE-111 coming in for the kill. Might do the job. Should I at least kill an AT gun or something? Not fully killing it. Unlucky there. And Spearjäger's killing 2 units with its HE grenade. And a lot of stuff coming in for Crippling Depression overall in itself. But though without aiming on a specific target doesn't do well. Gaia DPs pushing forward as well as T-34s. Yeah, BigJim losing his T-34 slowly. Like, really, that's a big point you're pointing out there, Gensei. Skager isn't great in um, tank numbers, so losing any of them is really costly. But he has the air control by now, I think. Yeah, the only A is over here, and he won a lot of the air fights, if I remember right. Sure, he lost Donier, but most of the other stuff went really well for him. Though this is not a way to break a position like this. Can't break a position like this with just more of the normal stuff. BigJim now up to a 14-10. We're over 20 minutes into a game now. Really okay usage out of the air tab. I don't. Usually you don't see the dough too much. Yeah, Silk's moving up on the way to deal with T-34s. It's a really good game. It's just such a shame I'm tired. T-34 is getting ripped to pieces, ripped to shreds by all the AT guns, and then another T-34-85 out of Mr. Crippling Depression. I think at the moment it looks a bit better for him. There's a couple more forces on the map, but it's still pretty close. But yeah, the push in the north, if BigJim would have brought in these tanks somewhere else, they might have done better. How did... That was amazing! That was a great move of a BigJim. Pinned down everything here, like just so slightly, with mortars and tanks, and then just surrendered so much stuff. Killed and surrendered so much stuff with the Ski Storm Jaegers. I mean, they're great infantry, but still, that's impressive. Another Heinkel coming in, but you really don't want to lose those. It would be such a shame if you lost those. Because they can do a lot. A lot more than just killing one infantry squad there. But yeah, BigJim back to a 14-10. A lot of ping pong in the points, actually. Both sides being really on each other's skill level, I think. Which is really nice to see. Both sides being able to compete on the same conditions nearly. Gets a tank surrendered down here. Well done by Crippling Depression. As it was just so slightly out of 100 meter range out of the next unit. In the... yeah. BigJim keeps on holding. Doesn't really push at the moment, which I think is a shame. Because that's what he needs. To get to a 59. Just a map like this, like a flag like this, would help him so much out. He finally gets to 59, and now it's just 30 minutes to Crippling Depression, but like just 30 minutes is a lot of time to bring in stuff. So we will see. No AA in so far in the south. And also no fighters to stop the Heinkel 111, which does a great job in bombing constantly. Flammenwerfers sitting in the background. And yeah, a lot of infantry around over here as well. A lot of reasons for being more, being less of a runner in the front stack. And scared of playing deep. What? Oh god. Yeah guys, I'm just really, my head is so falling apart. Not even sure what I'm talking about. Like, I have like nearly falling asleep here. My whole body is just... God, is just... I'm so sorry you have to take part in this. This game is good. I'm just not doing it justice. Because this game is just so slow, it's so close. And I'm like daydreaming already. I'm falling asleep and dreaming about something and talking in dream. Like, what the hell? Because I'm just so tired. It was just such an exhausting day. I really was looking forward to casting, and this is good games. But yeah, that's just funny. But yeah, we'll do shutdown after this one. Yeah, if I'm talking nonsense, I'm dreaming, guys. Like, I just woke up again and was like, right, why am I talking nonsense? This is not about the game, this is about something else. Totally not related to this game. But yeah. BigJim coming in with the ankle 111 again. Trying to go for the bombing run. And just like seconds, and then I'm talking in dream, and then I'm back in real life and just see the game, and I'm like, what the hell? Really interesting. But also really weird and really not helpful in doing this game justice. Which is just like, yeah, both times ticking down, both sides, and BigJim doing a good job in reinforcing the front line. He might actually take the 2-0 here, with all the infantry he brings in, but there's a lot of stuff for crippling depression as well. Yeah, both sides still losing constantly units down here, bleeding stuff out. JU might survive. Crippling depression by now also with a pretty solid A-top, though he's out of HE shells on this 85mm. If he would change that, I think his AA could be able to start to shut down planes that come in. Another 37mm, but yeah, now the supply truck, and now every plane in the north should be shut down if it comes in alone. And even for squads, it should be hard to get where they want to get. Panther getting shut down by T-34 over here, which is a shame. More infantry units. BigJim on the 1410, but not a 1510. Ooh, he might get up to a 59. And that puts... Yeah, he gets up to a 59. That's put the crippling pressure on a 10-minute timer. We're getting back into the game. But his 85mm should be able to deal with the T-34. Yeah, forces it to fall back at least. And gets the kill. So that's big. But yeah, there's so many infantry units in the north, so I don't see big crippling pressure getting north back anytime soon. And that's two flags he just doesn't have. The ultimate chick cannot really cross in the open. Good mortar usage out of BigJim there. But there's an anti-tank tab, artillery tab for crippling depression just now as well, and they are on counter battery. Air war is going on. Yak 3 getting a kill there, dying then to the ME. Knights Yak 3 coming in, trying to go for double kill on the HE 111s. At least both getting forced back before they unload. One goes down to a direct hit there out of the 85mm. Second one trailing black smoke as well, so has to be careful. Gets back home by losing one Hank 111 without getting its bombs out. That's a big win for crippling depression, but he's on its 6-minute 50 timers, so yeah, don't forget about that. And that's another German plane going down to AA. So the AA is effective. Now he only has to take territory back. And this flag he should be able to take back at some point, but I don't think this engagement will go too well for the Guardias. Yeah, no. No crippling depression, don't send even more in. These Guardias don't stand a chance at all against Ski Stormjägers, Ski Jäger Pioneers. Yeah, they just get surrounded there. 37mm helping out though, and keeping these infantry units at bay. On the way to kill a Ski Stormjäger over here. But now it's a 17-7. One more flag and it's only 2 minutes. But yeah, the EA is just so good now. Both 111s gets forced back again. This one might actually, yeah, there it goes. Was a bit of a mistake out of BigJim to bring these guys back out there. Like, either bring them really out on the flanks, or like this flank. And he loses a flag over here, which... Okay, this is interesting. And yeah, moves again in the killing field of the 85mm. Plane coming in. Going here as well. Going for the infantry attack. J30 87 doesn't get the kill, and now it's back to 14-10, so it's 7 minutes for crippling depression. That's manageable. He still lost both these flags, but he captured the north back actually. Don't know really how he did it, but he did it. And he might be actually able to kill all the units around here. kills the unit over here. At least this flag is back for BigJim, but he still needs one more flag for the fast tick rate. Should be able to get this flag back as well. So that's a 15 then, again. And that puts a big time on Crippling Depression. Only having... Okay, L2 coming in. Going for the AT plane. Gets shut down by an AME. 13. Town gets captured back. And the point over here. So yeah, Crippling Depression going for the big push in the town. And there's not too much ahead of BigJim. No bigger AT guns. Only one Stug. There's an SU and a couple of T-34-85s. The AA and artillery gets really annoying by now. Oh wow, these Heinkelts don't do much. I mean, they drop a couple of bombs, but they actually drop more of them onto its own infantry than on the enemy. And then they get forced back. So yeah, I rather would have seen more infantry investment instead of investment into bombers. As of now, Crippling Depression can still come back because it's still not a 59. It's still 4 minutes, and he only has to capture one more point. And yeah, this push actually looks deadly because there's not much to stop it. Sure, the KV-2 as soon as it arrives might be able to do stuff, but till then, this push out of Crippling Depression looks really dangerous. So yeah, I kind of think BigJim has to push both flanks real hard now. Try to go for this flag with all the units over here. More ski skirmishers going for here, but yeah, I think he should have gone for this flag. 3 more minutes for Crippling Depression. Yeah, I don't know what you wanted to say there, Genze, with the beer and the drugs. I didn't do beer, didn't do drugs. Yeah, just completely wasted today somehow without alcohol. And Crippling Depression gets it back to 13-11. Already brought down BigJim to quite a lot of points, but yeah, the push in the middle worked out well, and BigJim didn't get back into town. Both sides moving tanks in positions where you don't want to have tanks. Like this position, just so dangerous. If this Automachiki unit would pop over here, it would just throw a grenade and this tank would just be toast. So you really don't want to do that, guys. You don't do that at home. Big air war going on again. Actually, don't know who won. I think both sides lost planes there. But yeah, by now Crippling Depression has just so many units in the middle here, and it seems like BigJim runs out of stuff. He actually might be out of infantry units here. Not sure, but yeah, this is a lot of stuff for Crippling Depression. Who slowly but surely starts to capture this game again. Gets it up, or actually pretty fast. Gets it back to 59 now. It's just 5 minutes for BigJim. But yeah, really back and forth games. Both games. Really amazing. Looks as this time actually BigJim might take the loss against Crippling Depression's late game push. But yeah, okay. BigJim actually brings it back, brings in a lot more infantry. Has to be careful as Crippling Depression again going for the really obnoxious behind the line ninja strategy. Might get the kill on the 120mm mortar here actually. It should be big. Yeah, gets the kill there with just one half track. BigJim pushing in the south, but back to a 12-12. He actually got snipers over here. This frontline, guys, is just so weird. Like these 3 flags, you never see these when these are the flags. These 2 are the flags you take when you're winning already. These are usually not the flags you have on a 12-12 when the enemy is winning both flanks. This is just such a weird game. He actually lost the town again, but now he kinda gets back into it. Not really, but he has a lot of stuff coming. Still, Crippling Depression. How did he lose all the stuff in the town? Really well cleaned up there by BigJim. Only has to get a couple more minutes going. But these couple more minutes will be really hard, even though he has the same income. Heinkel's coming in again. Pinning down the enemy infantry over here. But sadly his own is also bombarded by artillery. So BigJim has to push. Both sides just have to push ever so slightly to win the game. For BigJim it gets harder and harder. Crippling depression in a good position there now. I think good, solid ANet, though he lost a couple of guns. I don't know if you want to have that many M42s. Is he out of infantry? 5 more guided ADPs coming in? Like, he might be. That's interesting. But yeah, it's already a 52-minute game, so yeah. Lost 12-12 still, but I think Crippling Depression just has more by now. Yeah, the artillery speaks for him as well, as he has counter-artillery dealt with BigJim's stuff. Now he's on the 1410 again. Got AP in good position, Jäger's in good position. E-3485 doing its job as well. Dealing with AA guns. That's a 1311. It's still a weird front line. I still wouldn't count BigJim out completely, but I think he's slowly but surely losing here now. A lot of guy ADPs coming in the south. A lot of AT guns as well. That is a mistake. They will just get annihilated when moving into stuff. Yeah, like this. But he really wants to capture flags. I like that idea of just trying to go for the flags, but I don't like the way he executed it. Like really, both sides have to work on unit preserving, I think, a bit. And yeah, keeping it away from being as messy as his wars. BigJim running out of infantry, I guess, as he brings in his recon infantry, but these guys don't hold territory. Even if they win the fight, they don't hold the territory they win in. So that's a big shame. Jägerführer getting engaged by a lot of Guardia DPs. 5 more minutes. Yeah, both sides really fighting hard. Really having a lot of lovely engagements, but just being a bit too sloppy. Panzerschreck coming in, like this kill that will most likely happen in a second. Stuff that shouldn't happen. Or like not as often as it happens to both sides here. Artillery keeps on raining. Ooh, and Crippling Depression keeping the front line with just one SU, 185, 52. When all the infantry already nearly got marched up. Only the Fusiliers left over. Back to a 12-12. As BigJim somehow cleans the pocket over here. Good job there. Both are so low on life. So yeah, every 13-11 now is an important couple of seconds. Even goes back to a 12-12 shortly afterwards, taking down on the enemy's clock. Both sides still just getting so many kills, so many deaths. 13-11 now. 4 minutes for BigJim. What a close game. What a super close game. OB25 keeps on firing. Guided DP over here continues it as well. And Crippling Depression keeps on the 13-11, but yeah, just so damn close. This dome might actually go down. Ah, the 85 doesn't have any armor, so that's why it survived. Yeah, more M42s, not really helpful. M30 firing still counter-battery fire. Like BigJim does good usage out of his mortars, but he doesn't move them fast enough, which is a shame. No, he doesn't have any move commands afterwards, after firing. A lot of firepower over here now. Yeah, running out of infantry both sides, really putting in all they can. Off map coming in, and just 1 minute 30 for BigJim. What a crazy game already. Might actually go on for quite a while, not sure though. Might actually end in 1 minute. You never know in these games. Will BigJim be able to get any flag back? Oof. What? That was a misclick. You don't want to have enough map on your own supply route. Well, maybe it should be the victory firework, but I'm not sure you really want to celebrate that early. Like, it's not really early, it's 18 seconds, but yeah. And now I think Crippling Depression got BigJim. So yeah, that gives us tie actually. Really crazy game here. And yeah, GG. Crippling Depression taking game 2. Even though BigJim was again more cost efficient in trades, but Crippling Depression just using his stuff to push forward. And yeah, this is it for today. It was a really good series. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. I might upload this one to YouTube, but yeah, we'll see. See you guys.